at it again, and we've got to talk about this today because this administration has been bragging about BS for far too long, and it's time that that ends. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you would like to help me out even further with this YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. It helps out tremendously. I would greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, let's dive in.
I have this this video I want to pull up for you that's going viral.
Big shout out to Tim Pool. Shout out to him.
Ian Miles Chong has this tweet. Life is hard and it's getting harder for the middle class. I'll just play a little bit of this clip for you guys.
Seriously, my bills alone are $3,000 a month. I'm a single mom who receives like $300 a month in child support for 2 kids. I can't do this anymore. I work every single day. I get maybe a day off. Sometimes, if I'm lucky, I'll get 2 days off. I'm sick of it. I'm so sick of this. And I forgot to pay my daughter's braces. And now I have to bring her in for them to remove them because I can't afford to pay it all off at once. I am so sick of this country. I'm so sick of how expensive everything fucking is. Something needs to happen.
And that something is Donald Trump. No, I'm half kidding.
Hey, listen, Tim, I agree with you. That something is Uncle Trump. 100%. 100%. And I feel her. Things have gotten insane. I told y'all about the grocery trip that I had. What was that? A month and a half? It was about a month, maybe 2 months ago now. Where like it really hit me. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. This is all I got for 100 and it was like 110, 112, somewhere in there. Like 2.5 bags of groceries. I spent over $100 on this. It's insane. Used to get a whole cart full of groceries for $100. Y'all remember it. I'm not making this up out of thin air. Y'all remember it too. Comment in the comment section.
But maybe if you to this woman, and not personally, but in general, the economy was really, really great in 2019.
It was nice.
I went, I love telling this story. Went to a furniture store where we're starting the podcast. This is like January. This is January of 2020.
Timcast
and starting Timcast IRL. And I said, I'd like to buy some furniture. We need a table that we can sit at. And so we bought a table.
Love that podcast. It's a great podcast.
And the woman who was doing the sales was really excited as she wrote up the $5,000 ticket for all the crazy stuff we were buying to build a studio. And she was laughing. She was like, thank you so much. She's like, wow. She's like, I gotta be honest, this is a really great day for me. You walked in and just bought it on the spot. And I was like, well, we know we needed it. You guys had it. We had checked it out before. And she was like, man, it's just been going really good for me. And I was like, what happened? She goes, this has been the best year of my life. She's like, I've never made more money. We had a contractor doing work for the studio.
And how many times have we heard that in videos? What Tim Pool just said there with the cast on his podcast. I guess I should say. How many times have we heard that? We checked out videos right here on the channel where people have expressed that same thing. When Trump was in office, everybody was making money. Money was flowing, exchanging hands freely. Everything was good. I even saw a prominent or someone who used to be a prominent rapper who now has a big podcast now, a big, hip hop podcast. And he mentioned it. He had said that when Trump was in office, he didn't have broke friends. All his broke friends disappeared. Now, since Biden has been in office, they've all come back and they've all asked for money again. But when Trump was in office, they all disappeared. Nobody was begging for money. But of course, Trump is the no good, very bad, terrible person. Of course. That's what the Democrats would like us to think and believe.
And he said, I've never made more money in my life. It's been absolutely fantastic. Then COVID hits. Trump loses. Now you have Biden and all the ramifications that came with COVID, which was both Republicans and Democrats. And now you have these people under Joe Biden saying, I hate this effing country. I'm sick of how expensive everything is. It's like, okay, let me show you another story. Let me see if we have it here from, no, it's not there. Here we go. From the Post Millennial. Washington Power Company raises rates to cover increased expense due to climate legislation. AG's office instructs them not to tell consumers reason for higher prices.
Read that again. Washington Power Company raises rates to cover increased expense due to climate legislation. AG's office allegedly instructs them not to tell consumers reason for higher prices. What type of BS is that? I really want to curse right now because that's how annoyed I am. That's how angry I want to curse. This is ridiculous. They got to raise the prices because of climate legislation. And of course, you got allegedly the AG saying, well, don't tell them it's because of that. Oh, why won't you tell them the real reason why their rates are going up? So you'd rather lie to them. So you know what? Oh man. Y'all make sure y'all share this video. America needs to see this stuff. The average American doesn't get this information. The average American doesn't see it. And this is why. You think that's the first time anybody has said, well, don't tell the American people exactly why this is happening. Don't tell them why the gas prices are going up. Don't tell them why the grocery bill is high. Don't tell them the truth about the situation. Just, fluff it up a little bit. You think that's the first time? It ain't. Man.
Keep voting for him. Keep voting for him. Vivek Ramaswamy goes on stage and says that the climate change agenda, the anti-carbon agenda, is the wet blanket on the economy. It's right there in your face. So if you're wondering why it is that you are struggling, blame the Democrats and the far leftists and the people who are trying to shut down energy. But hey, don't let me just give a free pass to Republicans. I'm not a big fan of them either. But if you're coming and advocating for a carbon neutral energy policy and then telling us we can't have nuclear energy, I say F off, you're a liar.
Well, because they are a liar, because nuclear energy is the cleanest, most efficient power.
It's also the most carbon neutral one.
Yes.
So like from their own talking point of the most important thing, more so than anything else, is that the energy that we're getting is as carbon neutral as possible. Nuclear energy per kilowatt hour is exponentially more carbon neutral than the so-called renewables are.
Is that true? I've heard that before. Is that true? And, I really find it funny. Well, actually, I might save that topic for another day, actually. I'm getting a little too ahead of myself. I've got another topic of discussion that I really want to dive into that I almost mentioned here, but another day. Because, that one might require an entire video be made on that topic of discussion because it is insane. Anyway, I'm not going to tease y'all too much.
Also have an issue, too, where nuclear energy is something that we can generate here in the United States, whereas solar...
We don't want to generate our own energy.
Why would we want to do that? Where like solar and wind, we have to go buy all that stuff from other countries, import it over here using fossil fuels, of course, for our boats and whatnot.
Yeah, it's also the safest form of energy production.
Nuclear is.
Yeah, so
I blame the boomers for that. Because,
this is 100% the boomers.
Yeah, because like there were nuclear weapons. They freaked out because they had to hide under their desks in the 1950s as school children, and then they took over the world and decided to delete everything that was worthwhile.
This is your fault, Dad.
It's the whale's fault.
It's the whales. The whale.
Well, if we were only still using whale oil.
I was going to say I want to hear this theory.
It's the whale's fault, and I can explain.
Okay.
Shout out to Tim Pool, man. This guy knows his stuff, man. This guy's incredible. Listen to what he explains here. I had no clue about the information that he's about to reveal here. Shout out to Tim Pool and the Cash, man. This guy's incredible.
Sweet, delicious whale. If only... No, I'm kidding. I've actually had whale before. It's disgusting, and I don't recommend it.
Seems greasy.
I was really looking forward to that theory.
Turtle.
No, it is the whale's fault. I'll explain.
Okay.
So Greenpeace, right? They were concerned about nuclear tests that were being done in the ocean. The initial purpose of Greenpeace, this is my understanding, was to stop these nuclear tests. So they would get their little boat and they would go and sit in these areas where they wanted to do nuclear tests. And then they were like, we can't do it because they're there. And part of the reason was that it was devastating to whale populations. To save the whales, one of the co-founders of Greenpeace broke off and formed Sea Shepherds to protect whales. So this initial activism to stop nuclear weapons from Greenpeace transformed into a desperate, well, now that we stop something that's bad, how can we squeeze the teat and milk all these other morons for their donations? And Greenpeace went from, let's stop nuclear bombs, into how can we lie to people to keep maintaining our facade of environmentalism? They now just say whatever stupid, garbled nonsense they have to trick morons into giving them money. One of those things is that nuclear power is bad. And they revel in it because they make lots of money from it. It's a cash game, and it's beautiful profit.
And going back to what Libby said,
Interesting stuff there. Interesting stuff. And I find a lot of these, non-profit organizations, me personally, I find them to be a little BS. Because when you start digging into them, right, you end up finding that, the person that runs it, the president, the CEO, the co-CEO, and you know, the people that are directly under the CEO, you know what I mean, are all making $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. And I'm like, hold on, wait. I understand people got to get paid. I get it. I ain't mad at you, okay? I understand, especially in Bidenomics, which we're going to get into that here in a second. Stick around, trust me. But $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year to run a nonprofit that people are donating to a certain cause, and I just find I just find there to be a problem with that. I just find there to be a problem with that. You know, a reasonable salary, right? Take $60,000, $70,000. You should be able to live off of $70K. I get it. We in Bidenomics, $70,000 is gonna feel like 30. It's gonna suck, okay? Trust me. 70 gonna feel like 30, and 30 gonna feel like nothing. You homeless if you make it. I mean, this stuff is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I get it, and we're gonna dive into a little bit of that here in a second. But I just find a big problem with that stuff, man. Personally, y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section. But that stuff just doesn't sit right with me at all. And of course, you have this administration constantly bragging about, you know, how great the economy is, and you know, people are doing well, and blah blah blah. And yeah, we all know that ain't the truth. Check out these clips.
According to Moody's, the typical household spent $202 more last month on the same goods and services than it did a year ago, $709 more than 2 years ago. So the rate of inflation has plunged, but prices are still going up, and these are huge numbers for American families. It's real hardship. What do you say to those families? Can you tell them that prices will actually go down?
So I don't want to say that the level of prices will go down, but I think inflation will subside to rates that are quite normal and within the range that the Fed is seeking to target.
But of course, you know, Bidenomics is doing great, I guess. Not really, huh?
A cold, unfortunate dish of truth. President Biden's number one accomplishment since he's been president is to lower the standard of living and quality of life for most Americans. He's a nice guy, but when it comes to economics, President Biden is like a hog on ice. It's not complicated. The United States has the largest economy in the world, and we have the largest government in the world. And for 20 months, government has been growing faster than the economy. That's intentional. That's what President Biden wants, and that has caused inflation. And I think history will record that, at least thus far, Joe Biden is an inflation machine.
Mean inflation machine. You know, I always love hearing from Senator Kennedy. This guy is absolutely hilarious. I've got like 6 clips of his. I'm not going to bore you with all of them, but I got to show you one more at least, right? Just one more. Senator Kennedy is absolutely... I honestly wouldn't mind having Senator Kennedy as president, you know, in 2028, right? I mean, I think he may be getting a little too old. He doesn't seem like he's getting old. But I believe he is pretty darn old. He doesn't act like it, right? Doesn't look like it. But if he's down, I wouldn't mind having Senator Kennedy as president. But let's continue.
I'm also sorry that the American people are going through Bidenomics. Bidenomics is pretty simple. It's just bigger government, more spending, and higher prices. And I've said this before, at least in Louisiana, inflation is gutting my people like a fish. My people are getting really good at barely getting by. And in America, you shouldn't have to take an early distribution from your retirement account or sell blood plasma in order to go to the grocery store.
Facts.
And President Biden is out there saying prices are high, and your 401k is crashing because the economy is so good.
Just blatantly lying to our faces. KJP and all of them. You know, the economy is great. Meanwhile, you at the gas pump looking like, should I fill up this time or should I go get something to eat? Should I save this just in case something happens? You know, but the economy is great, even though people are sitting at the gas pump literally making financial decisions. Big time financial decisions. Should I not fill up the tank and keep an extra 20 in my pocket just in case? Or should I go ahead and throw this extra 20 in the tank too? Fill it up. Bidenomics is great though, you know. Let the left tell you. They've even got their minions out here now on social media trying to brag about Bidenomics. I'm sure you guys have seen some of these individuals. I'm not even going to name any of them. I'm sure some of you will in the comment section. Some of these guys on social media trying to prop up Biden. Like, come on, man. Really? Really? Oh, man, this stuff is ridiculous. But as always, y'all let me know how y'all feeling about this in the comment section, man. I think the charades is over. The people have woken up. They're going to continue to try it still, right? I think they're too far in to turn back. You know, the left is, the establishment. They're too far in to try to turn back and, yeah, everything isn't great anymore, but we're gonna, no, it's too late. It's too late for them to turn back. They have to keep pushing forward. They have to. And I think they're on a course for destruction, a crash course. that 2024, it's all gonna come crashing down right in front of their faces. And it's gonna be glorious to watch. Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love, family. I'm out.